Kings and queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you are loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated and appreciated. To all of you or those of you who share our videos, thank you so much. Those of you who leave comments at the section, I see all your comments. Thank you so much. For those of you who give thumbs up to our videos, thank you all so much. So today we would see and deliberate more about how the Native Americans feel about Africans. Come to think of it, when you look out, I think I've been talking about this for some time, but I needed the opinion of the originals of America to hear from them what they feel about Africans. There are school of thoughts today flying around telling you that Egypt is America. So what we have today as Egypt, they tell you that is just a counterfeit. The real Egypt is America, and they back their opinion with oh, the pyramids in America are more. And I'm like, what is going on? We all know, for some of you who have done some history, you know that the pyramid in the continent of Africa is more than the pyramid anywhere around the world. And the truth is that it's not just America that have pyramid. It's not just Africa that have pyramids. There are pyramids in the four corners of the earth, because those who were in charge of this civilization lived in every corner of the earth, but it started from Africa. I know this is the one that most of you don't want to hear, especially those of you that hate Africa so much. This is what you don't want to hear. The pyramid in Sudan are more in number than the pyramid in Egypt. But do not get it twisted. The first pyramid ever on planet Earth is in Africa. Don't just mix that up. So I don't know where all this school of thought is coming from, out of hate and emotion. People come out and say things, and then they'll back it up with some things, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, why are we trying to mix up our history? Okay, our story. Why are we doing that? Just because you don't want to connect with your origin, you can go to any length to deny. It's unfortunate, Your Majesty. So I got hold of this and I was happy. I was happy because I really want you to hear the opinion of the Native Americans. Whatever they say, we will deliberate upon it. So let's listen to him and then pick some points. I want you to listen keenly. We pick some points and read from some documents and we explain more. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Earl Tooley. I am from the Navajo Nation. I'm of the Tutnisani clan, born for the Tohiaglenis. The African people, those with African roots, we call them Nahite, meaning not black, not dark, but night. People who secure our night and take care of our ancestors, whose stars sparkle in the night. We call them that as they are the caretakers of us in the nighttime, as it covers our being, as it covers our sheep camp, as it covers the various places that we do come from. So our brothers and sisters from Africa, they have a vital role in our daily lives.
You know, I'm wondering, how do the Native American people feel about Black Americans?
Native American people view the African Americans as part of the Five Finger Clan. We are all part of the same clan. We have various groups of people that have earth colors, and those earth colors represent the people of the land. And so we embrace them. We can. That biological or that diversity makes us whole.
Did you get the message, Majesties? If you do not get the message, I would want you to go back. Go back and listen. I would have loved to replay, but I wouldn't want to take your time. Go back and listen to what this Native American said. Now, I have been telling you that you should not get it twisted. It's not like Africans are struggling for a position. Okay, we want to be the first. We want to be the best. It is us that everything started from. It's not because Africans are, it's because it is the truth. And they are aware of it because he knows his origin to the core. You hear how he speaks? This is someone who is knowledgeable. He picks his words. He is careful what he says because he knows that this is of utmost importance. Your Majesties. Now, when you listen keenly to what he said, like I said, you can go back and re-listen, okay? You listen keenly to what he said. There is something I summarized from his statement before we get into this book. Now, Africans are the guardians. And that is why they called Africans the Knights. They don't just say Africans are blacks or dark, they call them the Knights. Because we are the guardians of ancestors. We are the guardians of their ancestors. We are the ones who are the guardians. I want you to mark that way. Africans are the guardians. When you don't know yourself, you will be easily swayed by some teachings that come around that sometimes are not for you. You pick it up and try to do everything possible to fit into that notion. At the process of doing that, you lose yourself. You get so confused. You don't know who you are anymore. You cut off from your lineage and your ancestor. I've been talking about ancestor here, I think lately. I don't know why. The spirit is just pushing me to keep reminding us about our lineage. Most of us have cut off from our lineage. I was having one with one of you some days back. It was like the auntie went and was praying that in the name of Jesus, that she's no more called what of their lineage anymore, that she have denounced her ancestor, she have cut herself from her ancestor because she's now born again, she's new. Why? Because the church had told her that everything that had to do with her origin is evil, is demonic, is satanic. Do not get it twisted again. There are disagreeable people we have in our lineages. There are disagreeable spirits, there are disagreeable beings we have in our lineages. That is for a fact. In life, we battle with good and evil. So don't think that when we say your ancestor, everything is all good, they are all good spirits. They are spirits that are there, that are rebellious. Okay? Now, how do you strive to work with those spirits that are not rebellious, those spirits that are agreeable? Okay? We have the agreeable and disagreeable beings and spirits and ancestors in all our lineages. So when you connect or commune, you are sure that you're communing with the agreeable ones. Getting information of ancients that is of your lineage from them. I don't want to digress because we've talked a lot about ancestor here. But the fact that he said that Africans are the guardians of their ancestors. We are the ones in charge of what happens in the spirit. Why? Because we are the connector. We are the originals to the earth. We are the originals to the land, like he said. Your Majesties, those of dark color, different shade of dark, different shade of brown, he said 5. We are, that's 5 finger, he said. Are the originals, as the shades of dark and the shades of brown. We are the originals to the earth. And that's why we can't be the connector, the guardians of ancestors. When they talk about someone who guards the spirits, you should know that these are beings that have been existing, powerful. Most of us don't know who we are. A lot of us Africans, we've thrown away our identity. We've thrown away our identity. I think I have been ringing this in your ear time and time again, that our life is more spiritual than we ever think. Our life is more spiritual. Don't think that you're just living and then all you're doing is just to strive and then at the end you're going to die, you go to heaven or hell. Life does not end there. Your life does not end there. You have been existing for eons and you keep existing except you decide to destroy the core of yourself and become something else. So let's check what I think I have done something about this book before, but I want to remind you again to back up what he said and back up what I've been saying here. There have been evidences before us that we have been rejecting because we despise Africa so much. Most of us are scattered from our lineage. We don't even know where we come from anymore. Some part of America was part of Africa. It got ripped apart. You can do more research about that, right? Or maybe I'm going to do another video about that, okay? Now, when you read this book, The Men Who Stole Africa, I think I've done something about it, but there's something I want to pick out here, okay? Now, it says that the scattering of mankind to every corner of the earth began relatively recently, just 70,000 years ago. One group crossed what is now the Bab el-Mandeb Straits, the pinch point between East Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, sculling across the shallow seas on rafts secured by vines. This was how they transported themselves. Others headed north to milder and more fertile climes, and when they found their route blocked by the Mediterranean Sea, they were forced across the Sinai into the Middle East and then spread into the tropics of Central Asia. Now listen keenly. Others edged closer to the ice and now snowy wilderness of the north, finally pushing over the top of the world from the East Asian Arctic to the Americas. To the Americas, do you hear that? All this started here and then went out. But wherever mankind traveled and prospered, nothing would match the natural riches they had left behind in Africa. Like I said, when you look into the creation of the world, there are different creation of different beings. So you can say you are whatever. That is your business. That is to say, you are not man. But except if you are a kind of man, their origin is also different. The kind of man, those that look like man, but have other traits in them, from their color to everything, they also were created from another way. They were also part of creation. They are also part of creation. They didn't start from here, definitely. But they had to connect with those who left here so that they can adapt more to the climes. So what are you? Who are you? So it's not the issue of dragging. We don't have anything to do with Africa. No problem. There are a lot of beings out there that have nothing to do with Africa. So what being are you? Of what line are you coming from? And who created you? So I believe the message has been passed and we got the point. Africans are the guardians. Africans are the guardians of the ancestor. And that is why we do not need to cut off from what makes us who we are. Like someone will say religion is just a traditional way or cultural way of communicating with the divine. Religion is a cultural and traditional way of communicating with the divine. And all races in the world have that way established for themselves. It's only the melanated people that copy other people's traditions and their own way and inculcate it into their own. You have thrown away your way of communicating with the Supreme Being because they told you your own is demonic. And they bring their own to you. Look at the Asians, the Indians, the Chinese. They have their way of communicating with the Supreme Being. We have the Buddhists, we have the Hindus, all right? The Europeans and Americans, they have their way of communicating with their own divine. That's what they call Christianity. The Arabs have their way of communicating with their divine. That's what they call Islam. But the Africans and the black people, what is your own way of communicating with your divine? You have thrown your own way away. Remember, you are the guardians of the spirits. You are the guardians of the ancestors. So if you have thrown your way of communicating, how do you now guard the spirit as you should? How will it be effective when you don't even know what you are doing? And then you sit and shout, hey, our ancestors are not, they are the spirit, their spirits are there, they are burning in hellfire. That's why they cannot do anything. When you have thrown away the key to connecting with your lineage. I'm going to leave you here. I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always your majesties. Bye for now.